You can nip it. Okay, we're live. Share. Hey Toff, how are you, brother? Is that short for Christopher? I'm interested. Wow, the room's filling up already. Troy Hayden Trotter in the house. I'm just sharing this on my social media, then I'll get to answering you. Live. Oh. Live streaming. Ooh. Streaming. Live streaming. Sorry, people. I will be there in a second. Live streaming. Now. Boom. That's posted. Wow, there's 18 people and 8 thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up. That really helps the stream get out to some more people. How am I sounding? Does the sound good? Hello, Serinx. That was a cool username. Right, that's there. Oh, you found the stream, Mrs. Thank you. Ah, Amy. Thank you so much. I got my little present today. Thank you so much, Anne. That was really nice. So it's my birthday coming up on the 12th, and Amy sent me a little box of different vegan sports supplements and jerky and like interesting coffee type sort of protein supplement. Oh, that really made my day. I was so touched, Amy. That was really lovely of you. Thank you so much, Anne. And a little 5-spice from a local place where they sort of grow and the herb spices and make the powders. So, in Devon, did you say you are, Amy? Lovely part of the world. I have been to Devon. Mr. Trudgian. Oh, that's Mark, isn't it? Hey, Mark, how you doing, brother? You're very welcome, and thanks for supporting us on Patreon. That's really, really, really kind. The little lady's in the background. She's Hi. There she is. She's got a poorly tummy at the minute. We think it might be metaphysical due to some emotional surgery, if you believe in such mumbo jumbo. I always call it that, but I don't really mean that. You know I don't mean that, don't you? Yeah. Good. Comic herbalist in the house. Saying, hope you get better, Jem, soon.
Aww, thanks. That's very kind.
Yeah. Do you want to be just in the shot? Okay. Look at us, snazzy t-shirts. Oh, everyone's been so lovely to us lately with Patreon and birthday presents and card. We've got a Christmas card to open later on from Amy as well. Aww. Who else is in the house? Oakley, how was Leeds? I had the best time. It was so busy. It was so big up there. So, yeah, it was a huge place. It was the town hall. Had a huge sort of... well, you'll see in my new vlog, someone sent a video of me doing my speech, and I didn't vlog that day. I thought I'll just actually be and, you know, be really present rather than thinking, oh, I need to film this, and then sort of takes you out of the moment a little bit. Not that I don't really mind, but I thought I'd really enjoy it. What was I saying? My train of thought now. Oh yeah, so yeah, there's kind of big auditorium bit at the back where I was doing my speech. I had a wireless headset, and I'd done the speech, and then did a Q&A, and there was no microphone for the audience, so it ended up I had to run around, and I was sitting next to everyone who had a question and having a really nice like one-to-one chat with them. And I was up the top left at one point, and then this little boy put his hand up, and he was down the bottom right, so I had to do like a big old run to get over to him. Oh, and the connection's gone bad. I hope we don't lose that. And anyway, so I asked him his name, and his name was Charlie. And I said, "What was your question?" And he said, "Oh, I just wanted to say hello." And everyone really clapped and cheered. That was really nice. Yeah, really busy. I couldn't believe how busy it was. From my understanding, it looks like we have a bigger vegan scene in Norwich, but I think because we're quite near the coast, there's not a very large catchment area where people would travel in from so much, whereas Leeds, I guess, is satellited by a lot of other cities. So that was we had our Christmas fair the day before, which was busy, like 1,300 people, but that seemed like much busier. So that was really cool. I hope you're getting me. It's saying very bad connection this end, so I don't know if it's breaking up a lot. So sorry if it is. What is up with the internet? It's meant to be better, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a new box, didn't we? But
yeah.
So far, so...
There's only 2 lights out of the 4 ever on there.
Mm.
How's the stream? Am I breaking up, people, or is it quite solid? Taint Music, what up, Henchy? Hungry Greek Mexican, what up, you kick about vegan? Thank you, brother, bless you. Yeah, I'm good. Jonathan's in the house. Purple pip-lap.
I knew it was coming.
You just knew it. Good sound. Adam, greetings, earthlings. Amy Senya, Devon, it's sold in Totnes Marketplace. Very nice. Amy, oh, I got a snazzy hoodie. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you're wanting some winter activism wear, we've got the Hench Up of All Plant-Based Gains hoodie. We've not got that many left. Have we got one large?
One large and like 5 smalls.
One large and 5 smalls. So get your orders in soon or they'll be gone. Jonathan, slow as ever I see. Plant-based gains, baby. I'm actually doing a little mini cut for 6 or 8 weeks. Just to make sure I don't put too much fat on. And then so later on when I want to potentially compete this year, or definitely next year, but when I want to lean out, it's not such a big job, you know. I don't want to be weeks and weeks and weeks cutting because that gets miserable. Comet Kerbal is crazy. Healthy Cooler's always sporting your wares. Yeah, he's a good boy. Mr. Trudgeon, been using Chronometer this week. Really useful tool. Yeah, it is so good. Yeah, if any of you guys are unsure about your micronutrient intake or if you're getting enough calories in, a lot of people fail when they go vegan, especially if they eat a high whole food diet, because the food is so calorically dilute that if they just eat the same amount of volume of food, they might eat much less calories because there's a lot of water and fibre. And they end up undernutritioned, and then they end up falling off the bandwagon, you know, and going back to harmful old habits. So, very good tool. It's just nice to check every now and again, make sure you're getting all your micronutrients in. I'm glad you're getting on well, Mark. That's really cool. And how is the wife, Tate? Is she getting more on board as we go along? Jeff Cook's in the house. Vegan Yogi Power. Oh, Loz, I know you. How are you, my lovely? Hi, Gemma and Paul. Hope you well. I'm really good. Gemma's a little bit poorly today with her tum-tum. I made her some ginger root tea. How's that?
It's really tasty, thanks.
I put a lot of ginger in there, but I thought that will really help you. Stephanie Myers in the house. Very good. All the usual suspects. Jeff's on board with the chronometer. Beep boop. What's up, bro? How you doing? Beep boop. I liked your avatar on you now. That is a very handsome. You're a handsome man. He's got my broccoli eating thing. Yeah, that's a compliment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Oh, the stream is good. Oh, lovely. Oh, and it's not saying that it's bad now. Dr. Asperger's banana. It's Stu. Yeah, I knew that you had another name. Dr. Asperger's banana. That's a really cool name. Yeah, we're really good, buddy. How's things in your world, Stu? Beep boop. What's the best Hench Herbivore t-shirt for me to buy? It's up to you, my friend. Whatever is your preference. So obviously we've got the plant-based gains. We've got the hashtag veganism in black. We've got these in white as well. Hang on.
He's getting another one.
And then of course we've got our new design, the Vegan Warrior. Let me try and show you that. So it's got that cool typography, like a female warrior there, and then on the back is that, and that's in a it's in a vest as well, like a gym vest. And then we may bring out another one fairly soon with like it's more like a cartoon look of like a minotaur, I suppose you'd call it, like a sort of bull with a human torso, big muscular. What's he doing? Curling? Oh no, I think he's just flexing. And if we have our way, it will say kill workouts, not animals. But that's a little bit up in the air at the minute. But yeah, so that is your choices. All beautiful, beautiful choices, if I do say so myself. I would say that, wouldn't I? Chess Fan 10, I'm not a vegan, but I like your videos. I like all the ideas about what to eat and how to train. Glad to see you can still be vegan and eat vegan. Maybe one day I'll be there. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, so you're obviously sort of quite interested in it all. Are you sort of, you know, you're obviously a little bit on board with the idea. Is it for you the health or the ethics or the environment thing that's sort of got your interest a little bit? And what are some of your obstacles? What are some of your obstacles? And yeah, thanks for the love, man. That's really cool of you to say that. I was really impressed recently. One of my clients, Jeremy, bought one of my Vegan Warrior vests. He's not even vegan. You know, he's cut down a lot on his animal products. And you know, he sort of gets, he's a real kind guy, and he gets the animal thing. I think just for some people it's sort of convenient. He does struggle because of his high power job and his long hours, and not to make excuses, because obviously if we really want to do it we will find a way, but then living with like non-vegans and sort of a faff. So I guess you have to be really, really keen in order to really make the punch. But he's cut down a lot on his animal foods, and he's eaten a lot more whole food versus processed things. So that's a really cool thing. But I was really impressed. He bought one of my vests just to support, and I thought, how, you know, I guess if we're not doing something ourselves, but then we're sort of promoting it, it's kind of our ego might say, oh no, like, you know, normally ego would get in the way, I feel. I don't know. But I really admired him for that. That's really cool. Karmic Cobblers, the new one is nice. It's white though, I can't wear white. Oh, Nelly's in the house. Hey Nelly. Hi Paul and Gemma. Hope uni is going well for Gemma, chilling out with a couple of sherbet lemons. I remember those. How's uni going, Gem?
It's going good, thank you. Yeah, I've got to write my first essay now over the next month, so I'm a little bit nervous about that because I've never written one before, but I am enjoying the challenge.
Nice. I'm just going to have a sip of my turmeric tea. I've got turmeric tea. One of my clients brought it in for me today, bless her. Young Kath. Turmeric gold. Oh, it's upside down. Is that, yeah, that's right. I couldn't read it back to front. That's good. Right, who else is in the... Oh, Foster. Who else is in the house? Mark, she said she likes listening to you. Oh, I'm glad someone does. That's something. But that's it. Angry Vegan. What's your view on the Humane Society euthanizing homeless animals? Yeah, it's not something I've really looked into. Yeah, I don't know. Are they gonna like die anyway if they've not got? I don't know. It don't sound very humane to kill something. That's or someone, I should say, not something. Oh, I hate that I just said that. Yeah, I wish there was better. Wish there were better options that they could do. Wish they'd take them. Sounds good. Beep boops like in the new design. Thank you. Yeah, one of my clients, Yazira, is an illustrator, and she did that for me. Bless her. Really proud of that design. Stu is okay. Looking for a full or part-time vegan work at the moment. See my Facebook, but I will give that a little look in a bit. Let me just get that up so I don't forget. Oh, what the hell? Stu. Boom. There we go. I shall give that a look in a bit. Has anyone got some work for my friend Stu? He's a lovely, lovely, kind, brilliant guy. Hard-working and honest. And a terrible liar. No. No, he's one of the good ones. Give him some work, damn you people. Lynn's, poor Gemma, if you need us all to go away, just pull the plug. Aw. Get well soon, kissy kiss.
Thank you.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's Lynn's. Liam Anthony is in the house. Logan Andrew, what do you think of calisthenics? Yes, cool. It's cool. I've got a poor strength to body weight ratio, so it's not for me, but I admire people who can do it, and they have good physiques. Daniel Gould, we meet again, Mr. Herbivore. Tough. OMG, I'm drinking turmeric gold right now. What a coinky think. Stu's loving the new cheese. Got to get me one of them. Yeah, I think you look very good in that. Alicia Beavis is in the house. OMG, I remember my uni days. By the end of my degree, I sounded like a right pretentious idiot in my essays. By the end of my studies.
I'll look forward to that happening to me.
Sounding pretentious.
Yeah.
Let me have a sip of tea. Practicing what I preach, keeping hydrated, getting those good nutrients in. I can feel the curcuminoids going to work already. Guess what I learned recently, Gem?
Yeah.
Piperine in black pepper grows your microvilli by 150%. So that means more nutrient absorption. Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
Thank you. So I guess it doesn't just increase the amount of curcuminoids in your bloodstream, it increases all nutrients. Daniel, I had a dream the night before last that you opened up a comic book / fitness gear shop in my town and gave me a lift home. I saw henchman trucks all over the place delivering the goods. That's very cool. Thanks for sharing. That's tickled me. Alicia, good luck with all that though. Gemma, what are you studying?
Psychology and counselling. Yes, that.
You told it. Told her.
Thanks for asking.
Amy Robson, I'm drinking the same tea. Wow, we're all on the turmeric gold tonight. You do great with the essay, Gemma. Uni is ab-fab. Weird question. What is the best single leg exercise? I've oddly got one leg that's much more developed than the other. Yeah, I think Alicia is right. I would go with a Bulgarian split squat because that really replicates the sort of same movement pattern as a barbell squat pretty much. So that will be more, have better carryover once you want to go on to, you know, not unilateral work. Yeah, get some Bulgarian splits in the mix. Very wise, Alicia. Daniel, what does he do? What kind of work could I give him? What kind of work do you like, Stu? There you go. You're away. Mighty Oaks in the house. Hope you're good. Do you have a flexibility routine? So coming from a martial arts background, I used to spend an hour a day working on my flexibility. You know, mad splits and all that malarkey. Of late, I just really do 3 rounds of sun salutation from yoga. So it's more kind of mobility rather than like a lot of static stretching, which, you know, is better for weight training. I tried to do like both, like martial arts and bodybuilding, and I found when I was doing really extreme stretches, I would often strain, like particularly my adductors, when I was like weight training, and it seemed to be a detriment. You know, I guess it's 2 opposites, isn't it? Like real extreme stretching, you know, you're stretching the muscles obviously, and then when you're doing really heavy like lifts, like you're doing the opposite, you're really contracting, and yeah, there seemed to be a problem there. So now I kind of shy away from a lot of stretches, particularly static. Pistol squats are good, yeah, a good call. Joe O'Brien, hello my friend. Hi Paul, who do you regard as having the ultimate physique? For me it's Bruce Lee. Yeah, he did have a very good physique. I guess it depends like what you favour, but yeah, like I prefer that sort of look over a real like overly developed bodybuilder. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't have anyone specific in mind, but really the more like a classic bodybuilding physique, you know, with a much tighter midsection relative to the sort of the look that people tend to get nowadays by overdoing certain supplements and things. Stu sending his love to us both.
Thanks, Steve.
Oh, and he's put a little kissy face. Daniel, I'm also curious, you mentioned in a recent video that you have a martial arts background. I think you mentioned karate, but what else you said? Yeah, so Shotokan karate, Western boxing, kickboxing, MMA, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, bit of taekwondo, sort of self-protection style training, so more like reality, like making use of the fence. So you basically got a guard, but you're just making it look like you're talking, but then you hands up so you can control the distance by sort of shoving them back. That's like a real key, I think, to self-protection is that fence and controlling the distance so they're not on top of you. What else have I done? Oh, Kapap I did towards the end, which is really cool, like a sort of Krav Maga offshoot, which had some really cool, like real effective self-protection, but it also had some real crazy, like military stuff, where you like neutralise a sentry, for instance. So you basically crawl up behind someone and then do this takedown where they're pinned to their rifle, and then you'd be choking them probably to death or at least unconscious. I think I'd want to choke them to death if they had a firearm. I wouldn't want them coming back round. Well, I suppose you could nick their gun. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking like this, because I wouldn't be in that position in any case. I just really thought, yeah, this is probably more than I need to learn, really. Well, that was really cool. How about yourself? Do you do martial arts, Daniel? Are you a Vegan Gains fan? You know, his way of approaching things is not how I'd approach things. You know, he's quite contentious, isn't he? Sort of confrontational and quite aggressive, I suppose, in his tone. But then again, like some people, you'd only reach them like that, and like he's probably turned more people vegan than I have. So, yeah. So I say I am a fan. Yeah, I appreciate what he does. I guess a lot of people would say, oh, he's putting vegans in a bad light. I wonder then sometimes, though, are they saying, from their perspective, they're worried that people will think unkindly of them because he's a vegan, they're a vegan, so does it make, oh, vegans, you know, people think vegans act a certain way. So is it more their ego that they're worried about, I wonder? William Robertson, hello fellow vegan. I thought it said hello vegan fans for a minute for some reason, which I thought was funny. Oh, that's because it said Vegan Gains fan above it. Hello fellow vegans. How you doing, William? Are you new in the stream? I can't remember seeing your name before. Where are you? What are you up to? How long have you been a vegan person? Daniel is in Australia. Hello, my friend. Do you guys use spirulina? What do you think about it? So, algae, like possibly the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. I'm a big fan of Dr. Greger's work, and he seems to say that a lot of the time it can be contaminated with like heavy metals, I think. Something, anyway. And he really promotes chlorella over spirulina. I have used spirulina on occasion though in the past, like for extended times, but haven't heard that. I'd probably go more towards the chlorella just in case there's something on that. You know, if you've not heard of them before, they look at every single English language nutritional sort of bit of research that comes out, every paper, and sort of see whether it's good science, who funded it, like what should we do about it. And so, yeah, I've not really looked into it deeply, but I tend to sort of trust his judgment. But obviously you're going to get some long chain, some DHA. One thing I don't like about algae is they never say how much EPA DHA is in the algae, so you don't know, like, do you need to supplement a little bit more? Yeah, it's weird. Red King Sweets 9000. What's your view on drinking distilled water? I watched Tim Sheep's videos and a few other YouTubers. Everyone seems to say it's life-changing. Yeah, I mean, you're taking out all the crap, aren't you? Some people say, oh, you're stripping out the minerals, but it's just trace minerals. And if you're eating a whole foods, plant-based diet, it would be irrelevant. So, yeah, we've got a filter basically, so we do it that way. Is take out the fluoride and chloride and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, a distiller would be a brilliant choice as well, I think. Mike Yoke training, nice to hear. You know, I'm trying to get into splits. It's harder than working out. Yeah, it's painful, isn't it? Little and often is my make sure it's a daily endeavour. My little tip is to, if you're doing it at home, get in a bath for 10 minutes and every minute add more and more hot water so you can acclimatise and you can manage it. But when you get out, you should be red from the waist down and then stretch immediately. And I found I was twice as supple. That's my little tip. Learned that from a Taekwondo national champion. Daniel, that's a pretty sweet variation of martial arts. Shotokan man myself, and well familiar with the fence. Jeff Thompson is one of my heroes. Yeah, me too. So Jeff and my life has kind of paralleled each other's. So we both did the old Shotokan thing, and then I found his work, and then sort of went along with his theories of self-protection and used it a lot during my time working as a doorman. And it probably saved me a lot of times, so that is cool. And then I found kind of spiritualism after I went vegan, and I went well off of fighting arts and things. So I just stopped looking at all that sort of stuff. And then when he came back into my sphere of sort of knowledge again, he'd become very spiritual. I saw him on London Real talking about how he, through meditation and studying all the religious texts, he distilled that the point of all religion is basically selfless service, which really resonated with me. I was trying to get more out of my ego and to be more of service, and so that really made sense. And then he went vegan after I did. And so, yeah, we sort of ended up in the same place, but we were sort of leapfrogging. I ended up emailing him, and we had a lovely chat about things and about sort of serendipity, you know, like, what's the other word for that?
Like when something's not a coincidence.
Yeah. Why have I forgot that? Synchronicities. It feels to me as though when you're living your life purpose, that the universe conspires to like help you, and things, you just go with the flow and things seem to happen for you. So, yeah. Daniel, that all sounds like a lot of fun. It'd be cool to train with you sometimes if the chance arises. Yeah, if you're ever Norwich way, or maybe if I'm speaking at some event and that's near you or something, yeah, that would be very cool. Stu comes from an engineering background, electrical and electronic, mechanical, repair bikes, cook vegan meals. Good with my hands and any practical stuff. Give him some work, people. He's a lovely, lovely man. Daniel, I've done every martial art Wales has to offer in my time, but my legs don't work so good now. I'll stick to Tai Chi. Nice. Just for exercise. Yeah, do you know a guy called Earl Montague, Daniel? Have you ever heard of him? I think he's from New Zealand. Robert Hill should check out Silat. Yeah. Yeah, that does look cool. Actually, I've never done that. Adam, do you watch UFC or any other sport? So I was big into UFC, especially like in the early years. And then just really in the last about 4 years, I sort of really went off violence. And now I've kind of come full circle, and I sort of recognise that sadly sometimes violence is necessary. So yeah, I don't go out of my way to watch it, but I'm happy to watch it again now, and it doesn't sort of affect me in a bad way like it did for a short time. Soralella71. I'm struggling with suicide thoughts, knowing what happens to animals every day. What foods do you think could help me with my depression? Thank you. Do you want to get in on this, Jim?
I would... it might be obvious that I would say this, but I personally would have some counselling.
Yeah.
Go and speak to someone. I think it's really important to look at the emotions that you're feeling there. It sounds like they're really affecting your life in a very big way, so definitely don't be alone with that. Go and talk to someone who... I have a counsellor and she's not vegan, but I guess I'm not surprised. I was surprised at first at how awesome she was at talking to me about veganism. Counsellors are very non-judgmental. They accept whatever you bring and they look at it, and so yeah, don't worry about if your counsellor's vegan or not. But actually, if you look on Facebook, there is a vegan psychologist that I saw the other day. I looked on her website, and she helps people with being vegan in a non-vegan world, basically. So you could look her up, actually.
Someone's talking about that, actually, in the next comment. Yeah, Claire Mann.
She could be perfect for you. Yeah. She would know exactly what you're going through. If you want to speak to someone who would actually understand those feelings, definitely reach out to her or somebody. That's my advice. Yeah, don't suffer on your own, hun. Yeah. And in terms of food, so you'll already be doing amazing things for your mental health by not eating the animal products. So one of the worst things for depression is inflammation. So arachidonic acid, which is from animal foods. An average omnivore will have about 9 times the arachidonic acid of a whole foods plant-based eater. So that's huge. By eating certain things, you can lower your monoamine oxidase, which is the enzyme that gobbles up free serotonin, dopamine. So that's the kind of monoamine theory of depression, like the chemical imbalance people talk about. So foods to really emphasise, there's a list of a few ones that I know that lower your monoamine oxidase. So green tea, onions, cloves, nutmeg, grapes,
berries, apples, I think. I'm not 100% on that. I'll look that up in a bit. But yeah, those ones we know lowers our monoamine oxidase. By getting in lots of vitamin C rich foods, that is one of the building blocks for serotonin. Tryptophan as well for your monoamines, so things like sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, particularly good because they're higher in the tryptophan relative to their other non-tryptophan amino acids. And then by eating a higher carb diet actually is a benefit to your serotonin and dopamine. So we used to say in the 70s, you know, tryptophan is an important building block of serotonin, so let's eat tryptophan rich food. So some people really emphasise animal proteins, particularly things like turkey. But what happens in reality is that the other amino acids crowd out the tryptophan. It's hard for amino acids to get across the blood-brain barrier, and tryptophan got crowded out by the non-tryptophan aminos. But by eating a high carbohydrate diet, the non-tryptophan aminos get shunted into the muscle bellies, leaving more tryptophan to get into the brain, where we make it into the serotonin. There's a million and one things, but by not having the animal products, you're not creating toxins like putrescine, cadaverine, cresol in your colon, which does lead to depression. So that's huge. There's a load of other things. As they come into my brain, I'll try and remember to speak to them. Antioxidants are very important as well. So some depression we know is caused when oxidative stress takes part in the emotional centres in our brain. So by undoing oxidative stress there, that stops this sort of shrinkage. I think it's like the nerves get killed off in there, if memory serves. So eat high antioxidant rich foods. So that'll be great. A little hack I do is to use amla powder, which is Indian gooseberry. It tastes vile, but like 1 or 2 teaspoons a day, put it in like a sweet fruit smoothie or something, you won't taste it. And it's the most antioxidant rich food in the world. Really, really, like, you could have a huge smoothie full of all the most antioxidant rich greens and berries and, you know, all of that sort of thing. But then that 1 little teaspoon actually has more antioxidants than the whole rest of the smoothie put together. So that's my little hack. And you can get that from like Asian supermarkets. So amla, A-M-L-A, amla powder. You can get the gooseberries, but they're apparently not nice. So you're better off just to try and chug this powder down. I'm sorry you're not having a good time with it. One other thing I would say, Sorella, is to focus on the solution and not the problem. So by helping the animals, you know, that then, it makes us feel like we're helping to end the suffering. And by focusing on others rather than focusing on ourselves and thinking, like, you know, any kind of depression, like, if you're thinking how you're feeling, obviously you're feeling the depression, but if you're then thinking of helping others, that's taking your mind off that. And apparently that is one of the best things to combat depression, is to be of service to others. So that's huge. One of our real needs is the feeling of service. It's one of the 6 human givens, it's called. And it's that, along with like expansion, like growth, is considered one of the 2 needs of the soul. So it's a real good, important thing to focus on to make your life good. And yeah, so rather than thinking of the animals and always looking at what's going on, I unfollow feeds which has all that sort of imagery and stuff, because it messes me up. And I just think, what can I do? Right, I'm going to wear a t-shirt, I'm going to speak about the health implications, and whatever is your strength, you know, play to that and just be of service. And I find that to be a huge important coping mechanism, and it is hard, and bless your heart, and thank you so much for caring. And because the animals can't say it, thank you for helping the animals, you know. It's very important. Yeah, look after yourself. Bless you. The animals won't want you to suffer, and we can't help the animals if we're getting hurt. I think it's called secondary traumatic stress disorder. So historically, when we see suffering, we could have done something about it because we would have been there. But now, you know, if we're watching video, if we're looking at photos and things, maybe we're going to saves and see, do you know what I mean? Not that that's not an important thing, but if it's hurting you, stop doing it and help in another way that's not hurting you, because we're only of help while we're well. And, you know, we need to look like a healthy, happy group, because if people see us unhappy or unwell, or, do you know what I mean, we're not a good... What am I trying to say? We're kind of herd animals, and we need to look like a group that people want to be part of that herd. And if we're not doing that, it's going to put them off. So I'm glad that you're seeking help, hun, bless you. And I hope, you know, look after yourself, and I hope you soon turn a corner. Bless your heart. Keep in contact with us, hun. Have you got like a vegan group in your area? Are there people you can like hang out with of a similar mind? Not necessarily just at vigils and places. Yeah, Vistopia is the word, isn't it? Jules is in the house from North Carolina. Whoa! Yeah, support's good. Alicia, I've eaten spirulina 2 times, both times very unwell afterwards, so I stay clear, yeah? There you go. It's important to notice what's happening in your body. Maxwell Levan Vlogs. Ayoo! Hello, my friend. Adam, favourite drinks? Hibiscus tea, just because it's so antioxidant rich. Matcha green tea, again for the same reason. What do I drink? And I'll tell you what I did. You know, I did a video recently, vegan like hot drink recipes, and I made like a matcha latte. That was really nice. Yeah, matcha latte may be my favourite that I've tried recently. I quite like lemon balm tea as well. Yeah, I think that's like in the mint family or something. Maxwell is vegetarian, so you're on the path, you're on the right track, bless you. Felicia's in the house. Oh, Sorella, you're in Brighton, so you've got loads of people there. Quite introvert. Yeah, I was very introverted when I first went to our meet-up group. I think doing this vegan thing has made me come out of my shell. Just because it is so important to try and reach people and whatever. And then I just found the vegan group so supportive, and like we always make a fuss of like new people and make sure they feel comfortable, and yeah, it's hard though, isn't it? I appreciate your struggle there, bless you. Michael D'Souza, artist, is starting up a vegan activism channel. Good man. Let's all go over it and subscribe there. Not just now, wait till the end of the stream, or at least open up another window and keep this going. Oh, you've not started it yet, you're starting one up. Oh, I like how you all been so supportive of Sorella. Daniel, Jeff Thompson is vegan. I had no idea. That's awesome. Good on you for the spiritual development. I went vegan because of my Buddhism. Are you thinking synchronicity? I just think really that it goes hand in hand, doesn't it? Like, oh, lovely. You know, sort of, I guess Buddhism is about not causing like harm to others is a big thing, and I don't know. One always seems to lead on. Whether you come to veganism through spiritualism or vice versa, like they do really go hand in hand. It's just like the next logical step, isn't it? It makes sense. Jem, I've got my dinner, but I want to just keep going a bit longer with you guys. So hopefully Jem will come back and can help out a bit. I've been enjoying this lately. This is a chickpea and avocado mash. I think it's got a few herbs and things in there. Got a nice bit of a fresh salad and some sweet potatoes. Well, I just have to have a little bite. Pardon me. Ah, yeah. It's turning into a mukbang. Right, where are we? Ah, thanks, Daniel. He does actually do a thing where you can hang out with him. He does like sort of personal development stuff. And one thing he does is like a walk around this sort of abbey. All these sort of nice grounds with lovely, you know, lots of nature going on. And there's like walking meditation and stuff. And yeah, he's kind of like a life coach now and stuff. And I don't think it's overly expensive. Yeah. One of my clients wanted to do a bit of self-protection, and I was teaching him like the fence and everything. And then I asked him if he wanted a session the next day, because he used to have multiple sessions. And he said, no, I'm off to meet Jeff Thompson in Coventry to do that thing. Which was really weird. So that was like a synchronicity. And then I was really thinking how, if you look on my channel, there are a few self-protection videos from a while back. And that was hard because I had this like spiritual awakening, and then but I wanted to show some self-protection, but I physically felt like I didn't want to shove someone to like show the technique. It was really, really weird, and it came hard. And I'd thrown out all my materials, and I really wanted to just look back and just refresh my memory. I felt like I'd probably forgotten a lot of things, but I don't think I really had this like in there. But the weird thing was, my client Mark came back with his masterclass series. Like all the stuff he teaches, and said, oh, this is no good to me, have this. And so that was another synchronicity. There was about 4 or 5 really strong synchronicities all around that sort of time, all to do with Jeff Thompson. It was really weird. Danielle Euler, do you like Tony Horton, who's gone vegan? Oh, he was... I know that name. Is he the P90X person? I don't know. But no, I have not tried that. Oh, I've skipped ahead. Hang on. Sorry, everyone. Chat amongst yourselves for a second. Where are we? Oh, and Daniel, you donated £2. You're a dude. Oh, it was a pleasure to see your stream. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate your kind support. Bless you. It's really nice. Right. Alicia, I'm still trying to figure out my purpose. It's a pain having no direction. It's really, I've found, is about following your joy. There's probably something which you really talk about a lot, and maybe it makes you inspired and you get energized. Is that ringing any bells? What would be your thing that you get so excited about? Jeff, you're an inspiration, Henge. Great physique. I think it's crucial to show people what's possible on a vegan diet. I'm currently working on my own physique as I feel it can help with the activism side. Yeah, again, it's important. So what I was saying earlier to that Soleil person, so I can't remember exactly how to pronounce that. Yeah, we have to look the part, you know, ideally positive, happy, great physique, doesn't hurt. You know, if we're saying how it's the most healthful diet, but we're out of shape, you know, people can say, well, how come, you know. So I think that's a good thing. And not only that, like, we deserve, like, to have really good health. Yeah, but good on you. I think that is a real, you know, every time, isn't it, where do you get your protein? Number one. So I say, you know, people tell me we need meat for protein. I tell them, why are you half my size? Like, hello. Joe O'Brien, how about fasting? It has so many benefits as well as being vegan. I usually eat a 16-8 protocol. So you eat in an 8-hour window? I guess it's great to give your digestive system a rest. Yeah, that is a benefit. For me, I eat so many low-calorie veggies that I would not be able to fit that into that time frame. So I want to get the nutrition in. But yeah, I've heard great stuff about intermittent fasting. Daniel, Earl Montague used to live in Swansea. I did not know that. Died a few years back. Oh, bless him. Although I was regret not going down to see why I had the chance. Stupid anxiety kept me. Yeah. Yeah, it's that's annoying, isn't it? And it's like stuff that we make up in our head, like these fears and things. Again, obviously, good nutrition is like the bedrock of having the machinery to deal with like worries and things, but still we make up this. You know, I've recently got over a fear of public speaking, and that came harder to me than the fear of physical conflict, you know. I would rather be in a huge brawl with like 20 guys and chairs and bottles and things than have to stand in front of a few people and just say a few words. How stupid is that? Like a little tiny little kid would not think twice about standing up and just saying something in front of a load of people. Like, they've not learned to be fearful of that yet, and it's just stupid stuff we make up in here, and it holds us back. And I bet people are on their deathbed with a lot of regrets, thinking, oh, why didn't I just, you know, toughen up and just go for it. You got me started in Tai Chi. Wow. Danielle, what are you guys having for Christmas dinner? So we have some a lot of veggies, of course, and then we normally make some sort of like a legume and maybe oat-based sort of loaf type thing, do we, Jim?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah. There's a chickpea loaf recipe on my channel, that's alright. We kept trying this lentil and oat loaf, and the flavours were delicious, but it only ever cooked on the outside, and the middle was always... Yeah. We've done that loads of times. Oh, God, that we couldn't get that to work. Excuse me a second while I just have a bite of food. Gemma, what have you got there?
I've got the same thing as you. Sweet potatoes. Don't know what you'd call this. This is chickpeas with avocado and some seasonings.
What seasonings? They're delicious.
Yours has got cumin, smoked paprika, salt and pepper. That's it, I think. I like to blend it up, but leave it still with some bits of chunks and textures, you know, in there.
It's really good.
I don't know what you'd call it. It's sort of a bit of a guacamole.
A mash.
Yeah, chickpea and avocado mash.
The fatty element really adds to it.
Yeah, if you have a whole avocado, it's a lot nicer than a half, isn't it? But it's still nice.
It's lovely. Because I'm doing a little mini cut now, I'm just appreciating any like bit of sweetness or fat. It tastes amazing to me. What do you guys have for Christmas dinner? I'm interested. Jamie, how can I progress on overhead press when stuck at 115 for 5? So do you need to up your calories a little bit, or really I'm a big fan of micro loading, so I've got these tiny discs. What are they, like ½ kilo, quarter kilo, and 1/8 of a kilo discs? And just, you know, obviously over time, when we first start training, it's mad gains, and then especially over like a couple of years, it really sort of levels out. So yeah, I'd say look at micro loading. Make sure you've got enough calories going in. They're my first ports of call, really. And then maybe look at your program and make sure like that's not, you know, enough. Something else is not like interfering with your ability. You know, maybe you're not recovered from something else you're doing. So is a thing. I really need to eat some food.
I'm sure people don't mind if you eat a bit of food.
Do you mind if I just eat some food for a second? Hang on. I'll just take a bit of a bite and then I'll get back to you. This sort of sugariness comes out in the potato, doesn't it? It's funny.
It was smaller than the last one, so I cooked them for too long, so I think they've got a little bit too soft.
Yeah. I still like them. Plant-based gangster, good name. Some of us vegans need to stay in shape and stay hard to keep these meat eaters in check. Exactly. Oh, good shout, Daniel, on the plant-based news thing. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, Plant-Based News Vegan 2017, keep a lookout. I appear in there twice for a very brief. See if you can spot me. You probably won't notice the first one unless you know my anatomy really well. I'll give you a hint. It's there. Carmen Herbalist is doing psychology in last year.
Oh, wonderful.
Yibble. Have you heard that Pizza Hut is having vegan cheese on their menu? Yep, that's stuck, hasn't it? Daniel donated £2, Gemma.
Oh, that's really kind.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Hang on a minute, I really need some potatoes. I've got a CTFU. Yeah, good point, Alicia. Do you think upping my vitamin D intake might help with the winter blues? Yeah. Most health authorities now say 2,000 IUs for an average adult when we're not getting any sun and our blood levels are down. So that's quite a lot more than you get in like a multivitamin or something. And we shouldn't be taking multivitamins anyway because they tend to be more detrimental than helpful. So I just advocate B12, obviously your D3, DHA as a safeguard just in case, and iodine if we're not having seaweed. But other than that, whole plant foods, and that's all in there. Alicia has spinach and beans in her morning smoothie, yeah. Very good. Yeah, you can disguise a lot with some lovely sweet fruit. Himokalia! Hey Paul, thanks for a bit of positivity for us in the States where things are a bit of a mess. Bless ya. You're very welcome, my friend. Thanks for joining as always. Alex, is there any way to convince parents that veganism isn't a phase? I think, don't know, just try to get them to see some of the facts about veganism and why it's so important. So maybe like a little sort of bit of documentary or at least like a short video about some of the different aspects, whatever speaks to you the most and is the most important. And stuff like Dr. Greger's work showing how animal products and refined foods are killing us and whole plant foods protect us. You know, all the new science on how the microbiome is so pivotal to our health, the little bacterias in our colon, and how whole plant foods feed the good ones and gives us mental and physical well-being. It's even epigenetic. It changes our DNA to make us more resilient to cancer and things. And how animal products, you know, the putrefaction in our colon causes toxins, which leads to mental ill health, and it can be epigenetic in terms of like causing damage, irreparable damage to our DNA. You know, it's just more and more and more science is showing like we are meant to eat whole plant foods and nothing else. Anything else to convince parents that veganism isn't a phase?
Stick at it.
Yeah, stick at it.
They'll see.
Get a hench herbivore t-shirt and wear it around the house. Okay. Sorellela. How am I saying that? Sorellela. Thank you, Paul, for all your nice words. I'm in Brighton and I do a cube of truth. Thank you for everything. You're really welcome, hun. And don't keep looking at those screens now. But do keep chatting to people and speaking your truth. Oh, I guess if you're quite introvert, so do you more hold the... Because that's an equally important job, bless you. Brighton. Was Brighton, wasn't it? I'll be in Brighton for Veg Fest. Is it March or May? Brighton. Anyway, come and say hello. We'll have a nice hug. That'll help. That'll boost your oxytocin. And thank you for everything you do, hun. Bless your heart. Mighty Yoke Training. Book idea. Veganpedia. You should release it. Such a good knowledge base you have. Really good advice. Yes, I will take a percentage of sales. Very good. Felicia, I saw someone eat living matcha pancakes, which is eating bacon also. Yuck! Andy, as he's such a as much as he's controversial, what are your thoughts on good Algerian rider? I don't really know what. Oh, Alicia's donated £5. £5 English pounds.
That's really kind.
Thank you so much, my darling. You are a beautiful human being. Ah, people have been really nice to us today. I've got a birthday present. If you weren't here earlier, I got a birthday present from one of you lovely subscribers. What else happened? A couple of donations today. Something else.
We've had loads of sales of clothes.
Loads of sales from you guys. Oh, and My Protein sent me that box for a haul video, didn't they? Unboxing video. That was the other thing. We're really feeling the love. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts? So, yeah, I've kind of cut ties with not that I had any ties with, but I don't really follow him anymore. I don't like when people focus on all the negative stuff, but obviously he has done a lot of good for veganism. He's one of the reasons I got into veganism, so do you know what I mean? I'm not going to badmouth him. But yeah, it's what it is. Paul and Gemma, what made you go vegan? So just health, really. I just saw how animal products lead to the reason that most of us die in the West. I think it was a long time before I saw any of the ethical stuff. I just wasn't in that sort of sphere of sort of influence. I just didn't see it. I didn't really know any other vegans particularly. I just accidentally, like, eventually stumbling across, you know, all that sort of stuff, and then that becomes, you know, obviously, like, that's I would say I was vegan for health, but I've become an activist for the animals. Gemma, the same. Emir, how do you say that? That's a cool name, whatever way it is. Do you ever drink alcohol? Not anymore. So, again, I'll keep talking about this, but the microbiome, the little bacteria in our colon are pivotal on our health. And so the good guys eat all the different fibres from all the different types of plant food and the resistant starch that you just find in legumes. But, you know, what do surgeons do when they're operating on us? They dip their tools in alcohol for the express purpose of killing bacteria. So if you want bad health, tip a load of alcohol directly onto them, you know. It's just the more I look into nutrition, the more I see that our longevity and our functionality, you know, not getting into disability into old age, you know, as a whole, we're living longer because medications are making us like hang in there, but we're getting less years of functional life where we're actually able to look after ourselves. So, you know, who wants to end their life, you know, regress to like a kid again and having to have your bum wiped, and do you know what I mean? So it's a no-brainer for me. No more alcohol. And then, like, over time, like, the longer you're living cleaner, the more, like, when you slip off the bandwagon, like, that little bit of alcohol or sugar or oil, like, you'll feel it in your body. You'll feel horrible, and less you feel like a benefit from it, more you feel a detriment, and less you're inclined to do it. So that's a thing. And I think as well I used it as a social crutch. And so just getting more confident and self-assured from doing this positive thing and from healing my mental health really by putting in the good stuff that makes, you know, the what's the word, hormones and stuff that we need to feel, and not putting in the negative things that make us depressed and anxious, which are from the fermentation of animal products. I just don't need it and I don't want it, and I'm just happier being in my own body really and being present. Sering says, thank you for joining. Really appreciate your live streams and videos. I really appreciate your love, my friend. Thank you. Daniel, what was that channel that was just mentioned? Something gentleman. My stream has frozen. What was that? I can't think.
What were you talking about where you might have recommended a channel? Anything?
I think so.
Or a book? Or...
I can't remember. It's gone. Does anyone know? Sorry, Layla. I'm the one to whom you sent the photo of the cat biscuit with the coin. Haha, now I know who you are. You're very welcome, hun. You're very welcome, bless ya. Cosmo's in the house. Spicy homegirls being a little bit too spicy. I don't think I'll read that out. But thanks, Yibble. Just wondering if you have tried Pizza Hut's vegan cheese. I think that's great. Yeah, I mean, I won't be trying that because I'm guessing it's probably coconut based, which means coconut oil. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hopefully it might be nut based, but coconut oil raises our LDL worse than like tallow, like beef fat. So it's a real fast way to a heart attack, basically. Nick, what's your opinion on the John Rose protocol? I don't know. He's not a guy I follow. He's kind of into raw, isn't he, I believe? Oh dear. John O'Brien, what's the longest I've ever... That's the longest I've ever seen you go without eating. I am really hungry, but I'm really enjoying myself, so I don't want to stop yapping. But I really should eat.
Eat your snack up.
Can you do some yapping?
What, me?
Yeah. Do you want to get involved a little bit?
No. I feel scribbly.
No.
Sorry, everyone. It's not personal.
Yeah. Where are we? Sorry, I've lost the bloody stream again. Where are we? We're miles behind. What? How have I skipped like 1,000,000 miles in the future?
Oh, it's got a grapefruit in my eye.
Oh, is it burning?
Yeah. That was silly, wasn't it?
Can you feel the nagging in there?
Oh.
There's a compound in grapefruit which slows down your liver detoxification enzymes. So things like medicines and things and stuff like caffeine, it will make them work better. So be careful if you change the amount of grapefruit you have in your diet. Right, here we go. Here we go. Daniel, it's an odd thing after going vegan. It's an odd thing going vegan after a martial arts background. I've got so much martial arts gear. I don't want to do anything with any more no violence in my life. Yeah. You might come full circle again like I did and then like see it as a sort of discipline and like exercise, and I sort of really went anti-violence and really, but so, we sort of need warriors. Like we need to be strong-willed and strong-minded and willing to speak up, and you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say really. I think it's all right. I think violence and like aggression sort of has its place. I mean, obviously you don't want to go and smacking people, but and another thing is like being capable means that if someone's so oftentimes about 3 times when we've been, and it was exactly 3 times we've been in Cuba Truth, Earthlings or Outreach, and drunk people have got in people's faces, and it's always the people who are a bit quieter and whatever, like, and they'll bully them, and then I have to step in the middle, and just the fact that I'm not fazed by them, they just back down because they don't see fear, so then they don't want to risk getting hurt, you know, because they're wimps basically. So it's all right. Martial arts is all right if you're doing it from a place of love. So yeah, maybe you'll get back round to doing it later on. Monica, do you have any tips for newbies in the gym? So, nutrition, number 1. If anyone fails in the gym, 9 times out of 10 is because their nutrition wasn't on point. There's a phrase, you can't out-train a diet. So, you know, calories, make sure you're getting your minimum of protein and make sure you're getting your micronutrients. Get a good plan, you know, potentially hire a trainer at least once or twice. There's like a cheat code for, you know, just whatever you're doing in life, if you find someone who's already done that thing and they've got the knowledge, it's like you steal their information off them, and it saves you like years of trial and error and, you know, getting it wrong and potential injury. So trainer is very important. I know a good one. Link in the description. Give us your eye. Julius, is processed sugar as bad as fat in your opinion? Can you elaborate? I don't know that you can really say if things are better or worse, or just basically any processed food is going to cause harm. So fat in whole foods is good, like, you know, nuts and seeds is important. There's some essential fatty acids, meaning our body can't make them, so we must eat them. So in that way, like, yeah, sugar is worse than that, like, because that's good. But in terms of oils, you know, I don't know that you can say one is worse than the other, but definitely they both cause harm, so I would leave both out. At least, yeah, food and nutrition are things I talk about, study a lot. Of course, being vegan is something I'm super passionate about. So can you get a job where that's like part of it? You know, so for me, I'm a vegan PT and nutritionist. And in that way, I'm like living my purpose. Oh, I've lost it again. Elson Eli Montague carries a torch now, but my travel anxiety and agoraphobia is looking at me. My ass. Oh, so you're happy to do public speaking? That's interesting. Tony, I worked my way through that in 2012. Helped run mental health workshop. Nice. Somehow I just with travel, I just can't work it out yet. Yeah. Yeah, bless you. I hope you get a handle on that. How do you get over agoraphobia? I suppose, again, just making sure your nutrition's on point first, so you've got the machinery in place to be able to, like, process things and move forwards. But, yeah, I guess it's sort of therapy, really, isn't it? And doing...
No, but
building little and often.
There'll be a specific type of therapy that can really benefit that. I can't think what. But yeah, probably small exposure to it would be like a part of it. I think little increments.
I've had a lot of success, and so has Gemma, with hypnotherapy.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry. I'm just going to eat this a little bit.
Eat your snack up. People don't mind if you eat something for a minute, do they? They don't want you wasting away.
Weird thing, has anyone else noticed that vegans eat more quietly than carnivores? I know a couple of real noisy vegan eaters. What's your experience, Jim?
I don't really know that I have an experience of that. Yeah, I don't know. So you mean like people who are eating meat, like they have to do a lot more chewing of really rubbery things? So are they like I don't know why I'm saying rubbery things, but you know, like a texture that won't go away. Oh, what am I trying to say? When you're chewing on animals, it doesn't like dissolve like plants. That's what I'm trying to say. So you have to keep chewing and chewing. Okay. I don't know what I'm saying today.
See, Oliver, help! How do I deal with Christmas dinner whilst my family put a dead bird on the table? I just go elsewhere. Yeah, that's not an easy thing to deal with, is it? Any good words, Jim?
I don't know. Well, what are your choices? Your choices are to not eat with them, to eat with them while they eat that and you eat your thing, or to try and convince them to eat what you eat. Would they be down for that? Probably not, by the sounds of it. Maybe you could talk to them about how important it is to you, or how hard you find it. Maybe you could find some way to make a comparison that they might understand, like comparing it to, like, you know, saying to them, oh, imagine if, you know, I was eating like dog, you know, or a cat or whatever, you know, or, I don't know, find some way to help them to relate
it's hard, isn't it?
to your suffering more.
On the one hand, we've said that we don't want to sit with people eating animals, but on the other hand, if you're not there, you can't then be a positive influence with your food, and maybe they try your food and don't eat so much of dead animals. But it's not easy to deal with, is it? So we just do them. Taco salad for Christmas dinner. Sounds legit, I'll have that. I have the Bosch Christmas dinner planned this year. My mum wants to try it. Nice. I didn't know that they had a Christmas dinner and I go, I bet that's good.
You right, Kirby?
Adam's having seitan. I think we'll just ban that person. They seem quite daft. Richard, hi guys, Rich and Annie here watching from sunny South Wales. Eat your dinner. Okay, I'll have a bite, thank you. I am really hungry. Oh, that's good. She's a good cook. Larry, I agree with you. I think you're probably right. Get it down, you lad. See, Oliver, met that vegan rapper at the weekend. Kyle O'Sullivan. Roasted a whole butternut squash. Nice. Cameron Hussein, your thoughts on Alpha Destiny going plant-based? That's only going to be good, isn't it? Particularly when he's so sort of, well, alpha. Yeah, he's been over to my channel a little bit, bless him. Very complimentary. Where is he? Show the good people.
You want me to put him on your shoulders?
Yeah, put him on my shoulders. He's a mountain lion. I'm the mountain. Vicky raises a good point. 90% of serotonin is produced in your GI tract. So that's a thing. I'll tell you something else I found out recently. It cannot cross the blood-brain barrier, so it can't affect our mental state, I don't think. So what are we using it for? Why is it there? We don't know yet, but it's doing something in our bodies as well as our brain, most probably. Daniel, when is your birthday, Paul? I'm glad you asked. It's the 12th of December, which is coming up. So what day is that?
Tuesday.
Oh, it's my day off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Going
lovely.
to the Tipsy Vegan.
Oh, we're going to the Tipsy Vegan. You know where I'll be now. Don't come and assassinate me, anyone.
And on Saturday we're going to see Star Wars.
But do bring presents. Oh, and we're seeing Star Wars on Saturday.
Yeah. You're having a week-long birthday celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse's in the house. Hello, my friend. Parminder as well. Hi, lovely. Andy, are you guys lined up to go on the Epi Vegan Cooking channel? Yeah, we've talked at length, and one of his friends is a bodybuilder, so we were talking about doing some sort of a collaborative thing revolving around that as well. Yeah, he's cool. Is it Brad or Brett? Brett, I think his name, isn't it? Is it Brett or Brad? Just remind me, everyone. I think it's Brett. Or is it Brad? I think it's Brett. Lovely guy, really cool. Richard Roberts is in the house. Manus is in the house. All the gang's all there. Boom. Comic cover list is saying purple piplup. Oh, Amy's off. No, my lovely, thank you again for your very, very kind ways and means. It really means a lot. Thank you. Sweet dreams, Hunt. I love our little community, Jim. They're good people.
That's what I was thinking.
Daniel, wish these streams were available to watch when they'd finished. I think I can make them available, like for maybe like for Patreon or something. I could like upload them there, I think.
Yeah, you should.
Should I do that?
You should do that.
I'll see if I can put this one on Patreon, and then, you know, it can just be like $1 or something a month, but then you would have access to all of them if you so wish. Might as well, I suppose. I just found when I left them on the, I've probably told you this already, but just for the benefit of everyone else, when I post them to the page, like it tends to really hemorrhage subscribers because they feel like there's too much not such good value stuff, you know, filling up their feed basically. Remind me to try and do that, Jim.
Okay.
Comic Herbalist, I'm getting my hair dyed purple on Friday in a vegan hairdresser's in Birmingham. Very nice. I like snazzy coloured hair. I wish I had some to be able to colour. Oh, I've skipped it again. Where was I? Ah, here we are. Steve-O Atkinson, hello my friend. Hi Paul and Gemma, we had a Christmas market in Colchester on Sunday. Had many vegan fast food stalls. Had a vegan cake, veggie and a cheese pie. Nice, it's all there, isn't it? You can get anything veganised nowadays. Was it busy? We had the Norwich Vegans Christmas market and the Leeds Christmas vegan market just gone a couple of weekends ago. They were really heaving. Really busy. Oliver, does cocoa milk contain coconut oil? I don't know. It's going to have a bit of fat in it probably, isn't it? Is it like, I think it's some solids and the water, isn't it, like together? That would be questionable. I wouldn't be able to answer with confidence, and I would personally seek to avoid it at the minute. Just see Mrs. eating cheese puffs. Alicia just finished How Not to Die. Very good choice. Any other book recommendations? Good books. Vegan books.
Vegan books. We got asked this the other day. I have no idea. Vegan books. Like cookbooks or...
Proteinaholics, pretty good, with Garth Davis.
You got a lovely book from Patrick Baboumian, didn't you, when we were at VegFest?
Oh yeah.
That's lovely. Do you know what? We've got a few nice like recipe books, but we haven't properly looked at them, like read them. We flicked through them, but we could probably get some really nice recipes.
Let's try and do a recipe video on Saturday, utilising one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. What other books are good books?
The China Study. That's really good.
What's that one you always talk about? Doug Lyle and Goldhammer.
Oh, The Pleasure Trap. That's really good. That teaches you about why we're so addicted to like super concentrated like calorie sources, like looking back at our survival and
hyper palatable food.
That's the word, yeah. And why we're like cavemen fast forwarded to this world now where you can just sit, you know, on your bum, go through a drive-through, consume thousands of calories with no effort. You don't have to go out and forage that food or work for it in any way, and it's sort of talking about how we're not really built for this time and how to sort of get around that really on like a whole foods plant-based diet. It's really good. Looks like the science of food and stuff. It's really interesting. There's even a chapter in there about the best ways to convert different family members to veganism. It's been years since I've read it, but at the time I remember thinking, oh wow, this is like really good. I've not seen this anywhere. But I can't remember what type of advice was in it now, so I'd quite like to read that again myself actually. So that could be useful to some people.
Shall we read that to each other rather than watching
yeah, it's on the Kindle.
Netflix?
Yeah. Yes.
Raoul, I think. All vegan here. We are. I can't speak for everyone else in the stream. There was a lot of vegans there. Max Grass-fed. Tough question, but one of my favourites for fellow vegans. If vegan was as unhealthy as eating a small amount of... If vegan was as unhealthy as eating a small amount of animal products, would you still be vegan? Yes. Yes, I would. Jesse, what's your take on Lentine by Clean Machine? I don't know what that is. Yeah, what is that? Jail Son's in the house. Hi, Celtic Viking. Hemocardia. Aikido is a good martial art. Doesn't involve hitting or kicking the sorts of using opponents random to subdue them and such. It's what the samurai is thinking of doing it in the future. That's a very sophisticated martial art. Good if you're at a high level of it. Very cool. I was a big fan of what's his name? Steven Seagal. Celtic Viking, I'm a little down. How do you deal with being vegan as I'm struggling with muscle gain? Just eat enough calories. Yeah. So I was eating, I got up to 5250 calories, and mostly like all whole foods. Just make sure you're in that slight caloric surplus. You know, if you have to emphasise more legumes, grains, tropical and dried fruits, a little more nuts, seeds, you know, maybe a little protein powders if necessary. I don't see that's such a bad thing if most of your diet is whole foods, and don't eat so many big low calorie, like big old like apples, or you know what I mean, choose the more denser foods. Obviously you need your little greens and things like that as well, but that is a strategy. Jason Goldberg, where are you from? Norwich in England. Where are you? Manus, what lift am I best at? I believe I did a 400 kilo. I think I did 400 kilos. Or it was at least 380. Leg press for 16 reps, I think. Yeah, I went really mad one day. I've done one rep 180 kilo bench press before. That was horrible. Never again. Just a second while I have a bite of something. Joe, how do you deal with people who clearly eat meat but ask you to help a dog or cat or even donkey charities, especially if you're a bit skin? Ask you to... Yeah, you sort of feel like slapping them around the head, really, don't you? Yeah, I would probably speak to my veganism and say, like, you know, maybe not too well off at the minute, but one thing I do is avoid buying products which cause harm unnecessarily. That's what I would do. Aww. There was a girl on here, well, there was a girl on here, being a bit of a knob, but everyone's sticking up for you.
Oh. Thanks. Even though I do not know what it's about.
Yeah, I don't know, because I deleted it before I got down to those questions. I mean, words. Sorelela. How do I pronounce that? Tell me. Paul and Gemma, what are you doing on Christmas Day?
I don't know.
Hiding up from the dinner table.
Yeah. Some time with family, I suppose, and hopefully maybe some time with some friends as well, actually. What are you guys doing?
Hang on.
Probably some nice food, won't we?
Yeah.
I've got us a surprise snazzy drink for Christmas Day.
Oh.
I got something nice for us.
Oh, lovely.
It's a nice treat, but it's 100% healthy and nothing bad.
I'm impressed. What's the least harmful oil, in my opinion? That's a bit like saying, like, what would you rather get murdered by, in my view. But, yeah, that's my sort of feelings on it. If I really had to say one, like, maybe rapeseed oil, I think Americans call that canola. Is that right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I wouldn't have any of it if someone paid me. Angel Rivera's in the house. Hello. Bob Weiss, love your videos. Thanks for the motivation and hope. Thank you, my friend. That's really kind of you to say, and welcome. No oil is the least harmful. Yep, that's true. First name, last name. Kevin Bacon is vegan. Is that true? That is so funny if it is. Adam, you could host Christmas at your house and serve all vegan food. Good call. Do not look over here a short time ago. I can see her in the screen. If my name was Bacon, I'd legally change it. Jesse is saying that Holland and Barrett are doing a buy one get one half price, stock up on nutritional yeast. Plus they do tofurkey. We bought Nooch by the case, didn't we, from wholesaler?
Yeah.
Well-known wholesalers. No, it was at Rainbow in Norwich. Ian Hayden.
We could do some more of that, really.
Yeah. Cameron, hey Paul, how can I get a bigger chest? It doesn't seem to be making any progress. So of course, same as anything, we need to be in that caloric surplus. You need to have your programming well. So some people, you know, they do a bro split, they end up doing triceps, chest and shoulders on different days. Now imagine you do your triceps first in the week because people want big arms, so maybe they prioritise that. So they've smashed the granny, for want of a better phrase. They've worked their triceps really hard. They're done in. They need like a week to recover. And then maybe they're doing a shoulders day. You know, so their triceps have got hit hard twice. And now you're trying to do a chest press and like you just arms give out. So program is important. But range of motion, you know, with a chest press, make sure you're touching the bar to your chest. Lower you go, like exponentially more stress goes into the pec versus the delt and the triceps. Couple of good compound moves first. Make sure you've got enough volume. Dumbbells are great because you can come deeper than a barbell will get. So again, you're working that stretch. You know, and a couple of isolation moves. So I like to pick one move where I'm really accentuating the stretch portion, so you're kind of working the outer chest, and then I'll do something like pec deck where I squeeze together, or perhaps cable crossover where you're really shortening the muscle, which then tends to work more the middle section. You know, some people prosper well on wide dips as well by leaning forwards. And just that progressive overload week on week with enough calories going in. Make sure, like with a barbell press, that you're coming down to like your lower sternum rather than like a guillotine press, which sort of hits the delts pretty hard and sort of sets you up for injury. And one real like master tip would be to make sure you're not elevating your shoulders on chest, and also conversely shoulder movements. It's really easy. Once we start to fail with the target muscles, then we get another muscle to take over. But they're switching off like the target muscle and putting the stress through there. So at the top of at the apex of a press, instead of looking like this, someone might look like this, you know, and they're bringing other muscles into play. Yeah, so make sure your posture is great, particularly to press your shoulder girdle. That's really important. That was a great little tip. I hope that is of help. Caputrans, bon appetito. Manners, hench, is Gemma's bro ready for that mud wrestle? I never asked him. Let's ask him in a minute. People saying hello to Rampy. Brett, that is Brett. When is So Good Child coming to state? Yeah, you said he was going to pop over around the time of their One Planet Pizza party, but yeah, he never made it. We shall have to hassle him. Let's just jump again, sorry. Oh, come on. Oh, we're miles back. Daniel, if you had a Patreon, you'd find me flinging monies your way on the regularis. Gemma, remind me to upload this to Oh, so I guess I just put it to private and then share the link on Patreon.
Yeah. On Patreon, there's an option where you can share something to all your Patreons. There's like a thing on there, I'm sure.
I've written it on my hand. Hopefully I'll remember before I automatically delete it. Strange Freaks in the house. Derek Simnet is a great channel. We're big fans. Oh yeah, Meat is for Pussies. That is a good book, actually. I like that guy's ways and means. Stu is off. See you later, my friend, if you've not already gone. Thanks for joining.
Calvin's coming to see us.
Thunder Bay personal trainer is in the house. Hench, what do you think about Flat Earth and Sasquatch? Are they legit? Definitely. People on the internet have mentioned them. I think I'd be more inclined to Sasquatch. Is that the Yeti or whatever? Abominable Snowman, is it? That thing? I don't know. The thing about Flat Earth that gets me is, like, if you're flying east and then you end up on a destination at the far west, like, how would that be a thing? Answer me that. I know they do have smart comments about it.
We haven't really looked into it, have we?
Nah, I've not really bothered too much. I just think, like, what if it is, like, flat? Like, what difference does that make to me? I already know that there's loads of stuff that they like to keep us in the dark about, so it wouldn't surprise me, like, that could be a thing, potentially, if you know what I mean, but I don't really want to spend any time looking into it. Tracy, what is the best natural food antibiotic when you're sick? I don't really know in terms of, like, what's best, but garlic is fantastic, isn't it? I know coconut oil has its proponents, but again, you'll be getting heart attack from that. Manus, Paul, do you know if there's an English version of Patrick's training book? I took it that it would be in English as well, so I've not seen it, to be honest. I've got the nutrition one, but I would be surprised if there wasn't. But maybe get it him. His business card was just on the side there until recently. It's gone. Manus is saying, rest in peace, Overeem. Is Alistair Overeem dead? Is that a thing? In Norwich. What do you think of low salt? It uses more potassium. You know, it's not going to be healthful. I guess it's probably not as bad as table salt, but I still wouldn't want to use it. Cameron, are there any adverse effects of drinking lots of soy milk? It's my favourite type of milk. Potentially, like, it looks like soy raises our IGF-1. I think you'd have to drink a lot of it to get that amount to do that, but that may drive, like, cancer growth potentially. But then I think if that's driving cancer growth, because I know that we break protein down into the constituent aminos before we absorb them, if the protein is the problem, I'll be getting the same aminos just from other sources. So I'm not sure that there's any reason to worry about that over other plant protein sources. And then people with the most soy intake tend to have the least cancer, so I would be inclined to think that's probably not a thing. It certainly doesn't raise our estrogen. That is definitely not a thing, so don't worry about that. Lee Stratford's in the house. Hello, my friend. Oh, this has jumped. Oh, it's Angela from Leeds. Hi guys, just wanted to say lovely to meet you at Leeds Vegan Festival. Sorry if I seem like a mad woman. Great speech. Hope to see you and Gemma somewhere at the next event in Leeds, hopefully. Did I agree to something with Viva? No, I didn't, did I? Leeds. But yeah, I will be at all the, I'll be at all the campouts. Gemma won't be at the Scotland one. And then we'll be at Vegfest Bristol, Brighton, London, if you're going to any of those. What else? Oh, and the London Viva Vegan Festival. But yeah, that was really lovely to meet you. And I may have bigged you up in a vlog which will be out sooner or later. And it was really lovely to meet you, bless your heart. And Miguel. And that other lovely vegan lady. Forgot her name briefly, but she was nice too. Angela, please say hello to Cowboy and the other 4 cats for me. With... Oh.
Get him to come where you are.
Cowboy, come where I am. Come on. Say hello to Angela. Hello. Hello. She's your biggest fan. Oh, you're off. Let him say no. Yeah, so nice to go to these events and meet with you guys. Yeah, so it's just such a lovely feeling. Jesse, do jokes enjoy yoga too? Yes, I love a bit of yoga. And I'm a real manly man. Honest. Ah, it's jumped again. Oh, come on, where was I? Here we go. Daniel, well folks, it's getting late-ish. I'm going to head off, finish some bits in the process, moving house, organise my stuffs, catching the next lovelies and namastrudels. See you later, my friend. Thanks for joining. Greg, anyone see the dude who got murked while out hunting bears? That's a shame, isn't it? Yeah, I'm a big GSP fan as well. Check out Yoga with Adrienne. Yep, I'm a big fan of hers. What have you got, a cat on the go?
Yeah.
How are we doing? Wow, we've been nearly on for 2 hours. Right, we'll give it another 7.5 minutes and then I'm going to sign off.
You want to get in the bed?
Yeah. Andy, should I get a water distiller? Are the 60 quid ones okay? Should I spend twice that for a better one? I have no perspective on that because it's not something I've bought. We've got a Berkey water filter, which really was worth... how much was that?
£200 or £300.
200 or 300, but then you have to replace the filters every now and again. But it's real.
Not every few years or whatever.
It's brilliant. But my gut instinct is that with that sort of thing, like, it's usually a false economy to go with like a cheaper one versus if you can get one that's a bit more money. And you may find like you need more water than, you know, you don't want to be then having to supplement what water you can get in time with tap water or bottled water or whatever. So, you know, if in terms of capacity, I'd say make sure you're definitely, because it'll be things like you won't think of, like protein shakes or cups of tea, or, you know, you may not just realise quite how much water you get through the day. Prince Fancy Bum's in the ring with his fanciest of buttocks. I wish I knew that Russell Brand thing where he talks about an emery cloth and like emery board in there. Yes, Majesty. Yeah. First vigorously and then slowly and precisely. That's funny. Oh, right. Overeem got KO'd. Ah, that's jumped again. Cameron, thanks for the advice. Definitely going to try the dumbbell bench. Yeah. Never done dips on a full body split. Decline bench as well. Oh, that sounded that. So I said that high pitch. Like decline bench. People think of that as a lower chest activator, but actually it is the most effective whole chest activator, being in because we're just slightly more powerful with our arms at that sort of an angle. If you see how that works. Manus, Hench, come to my house and we'll get in a good jazzercise session. I'm up for it. Angela, our cowboy, he's so adorable. My vegan friend's name is Charlotte. Ah, yeah. I did see her in on Instagram. Tried to send a super chat, but for some reason it keeps freezing on me. Ah, you don't have to do that. Well, everyone's been so lovely to us today, Gemma. Thank you. You are a beautiful human being. What are you doing? You're not listening.
I'm half listening. Look, I've got one ear.
Ah.
I've got one ear there. I'm just getting really tired.
Yeah.
It's getting late.
We'll settle down in a minute. Ben Hyams is in the house. I went off oil after you. Good man. What do you do when trying to fry a little fresh garlic and ginger at the start of a base? Just water. Yeah, it does seem plain. I mean, you can use a bit of stock or something if you want as well. But you'll get used to it. It won't take long. You will get used to it. I think Gregor even talks about using like brandy and stuff or sherry. I guess what do people cook with? Sherry, isn't it? I guess you like burn the alcohol off. It's really nice when people tell me that they've cut the old oil out and things or gone vegan, like because of me. Thanks for the feedback. It really makes me feel like I'm feeling of purpose in my life, and there's nothing more important in my view. So thank you guys. Lee Stratford, new to your channel. Hope you are both well. Yeah, I'm really good. Gemma's got a bit. How's your tummy now?
Hurts.
Yeah, a bit of a tummy ache. It could be metaphysical, but we won't go there right now. Been vegan for a long time. Nice. And love it. Keep up the good work, mate. Vegan for victory. Yeah, man, you know it. Good on you. How long have you been vegan? Seabirds. What is that? Cybers? Anyway, hi. Where were we? Andy, do you know of vegan Gitis? Great young guy from the US, moved to Hawaii to run a vegan food business. Send him one of your plant-based gains t-shirts. I do not know him. Is he on YouTube's? I'll just look at that later. Paste that there. Oh! GSP looked massive in the Bisping fight. Who won that, by the way? Who won that? I'm hoping GSP. Oh, channel's called Love the Climb. I'll just copy that. Boop. So, done it. Come on. Yeah. Greg, got any advice for sugar cravings? I heard cinnamon helps. Oh, I've not heard that. I know that it supposedly lowers our blood sugar, although that only works with It doesn't work with the normal cassia or Chinese cinnamon, we found out, since it's only the Ceylon cinnamon that does that. No, sorry, the other way round. But unfortunately, it's liver toxic to have a dose high enough that would help you cheat a diabetes test. That was the point. Yeah, sugar cravings. You're probably just on too low calories, so just eat a calorically adequate diet. I think I was getting late. What is the time? Oh yeah, that's the 2 hours. Let's just see how many more we had to. Oh, we were nearly there. Right, let's catch up. Gregor says use miso. Yeah, that's good stuff. Angela just sent you a donation via PayPal. So, oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much, my darling. And sweet dreams. And watch out for you. I'll pick you up in my new vlog, which will be out soon. Thank you, darling. Carmen, herbalist, stop using all because of you. No to eat raw greens with my cooked greens. Swear you said that before. Yeah, it's probably a. So I would cook things like obviously kale and then like mature spinach because it's so dense in chlorophyll. Not chlorophyll, it's not what I'm trying to cellulose, so we can't break that down very well. But if we really cook that, and then it breaks it down, and we'll get more nutrients. So yeah. Yeah, it could be an issue. Yes, it usually is. Just say you stopped oil and sugar. Yes, I need to stop salt now. Yeah, so just cut it down a little at a time. You'll soon get there. Paul, when you benched 180, what was your bench training like? I just went from a standard hypertrophy protocol, go to 6 to 12. And then one day I just sort of try a 1 rep max and I got 160. And I felt like I had more in there. So the next week I did a 180. And I felt like my tendons were just going to ping off. And I thought, why am I doing this? Oh, GSP won it. Yes. Tracy, I cut out oil when eating out. Makes me feel a bit... Yeah. Oh, we're a lovely couple.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Tracy. Lee's been vegan since earlier this year. Nice. Oh, so just said I'm bald.
What?
I'm bald. I like that hole. Andy, take care, guys. Love you and your work. Stay safe. Remember, banana straws can be seen for miles. I like it. Night. See, Oliver. Right, that's our cue. Sounds like we're out of here. You need to come to Scotland. I'm coming to the camp out, V in the Park. I'm speaking, so I'll meet you there. Thank you so much for joining. If you're not part of our community yet, we'd love to have you on board. So hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, click the bell notification because YouTube doesn't always let you know when your subscriptions are on if you don't do that. And yeah, we'll speak soon. Thank you so much, guys. Nighty night.